Danger of destroyed. Make money from royals. The couple's dirty plan. Meghan and Harry's dirty plan to make money from royals is in danger of being ruined. The Queen's death has changed the whole world, but Meghan and Harry and their big plans for the future have been more affected than most people. Typically, royal history is split up according to reigns, but sometimes there are other, more personal events that book in various chapters. For example, think about before Prince Charles ever laid eyes on Princess Diana versus after, or before and after Prince Andrew began hanging out with his best buddy, Jeffrey Epstein. In January 2020, we witnessed a pretty big moment in royal history when Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, suddenly made a break for it. And we all know what's happened since then. The $200 million worth of deals, the interview they did with Oprah Winfrey. And of course, their designer chicken coop. For a few years now, this saga has followed a pretty predictable path. But over the course of the last 24 hours, people are beginning to wonder, is this the end of the Megaset dream? Now, people are not suggesting that Harry and Meghan are now trying to return to the royal fold to go back to the UK to enjoy some long, cold grey winters. Similarly, I don't think anyone is trying to say that the royal family is going to suddenly forgive the two of them and encourage them to come back. The royal landscape has changed considerably over the last 3 days, ever since the Queen passed away. So what people are wondering now is exactly where the Sussexes' chips may fall. So let's go back to 2020, when the whole world was recovering from the fact that 2 members of the royal family got sick of living in the UK and decided to hightail it to the US, where they were going to pursue the American dream. For a little while there, it looked like Meghan and Harry maybe had a good idea. It looked like maybe they could avoid dull royal receptions and having to make small talk with visiting Albanian trade delegations. They said goodbye to listening to a former member of Little Mix belting out the national anthem during official church services, and they also didn't have to worry about whiling away the hours in the sun at Buckingham Palace garden parties. So Meghan and Harry tried to create a new post-royal identity for themselves. An identity that was focused on them appearing to be these brave escapees, who were willing to tell the whole world all the dirty secrets from the royal family to talk about how the royal family had treated them so badly when they were there. And to some extent their little scheme did work, because it kept them in the headlines. But unfortunately for Meghan and Harry, they didn't realize that it's a lot easier to sell this US versus them narrative when they were able to make themselves look like 2 brave souls who were willing to share their pain with Oprah in the face of the unflinching edifice of the palace. But what's happened recently is that the Queen's passing away has humanized the royal family in a way that's completely unprecedented. Her children and her grandchildren haven't shown any compunction about expressing how sad they feel in public and to the masses. Now, suddenly there's not only a lot of sympathy felt towards the royal family, but even more interestingly, real understanding for the family. People are beginning to view them not as an entitled bunch of people who have more wealth than we'll ever see, but as humans who are just like the rest of us. And that feeling is not limited to the UK. People in the US are feeling the same way. The US may have kicked out the king back in 1783, but the reaction in the US has been vicious. The New York Stock Exchange actually held a moment of silence and the Queen's face was projected onto the Empire State Building, and the news of her passing away resulted in TV stations switching to rolling coverage. So when Harry and Meghan head back to their home in Montecito later this month, are they gonna find that the tables have turned? And is it just a temporary change or is there a longer-lasting shift in public sentiment? Now, clearly, the consequences of this go way beyond their ability to find a sympathetic TV host to talk to. Netflix, Spotify and Penguin Random House, among others, have done really big deals with Meghan and Harry, and not long after they came to the US, they saddled themselves with a reported $13.8 million mortgage. So if Harry and Meghan's brand of anti-police rhetoric suddenly seems a bit goshed, what is that going to mean for their commercial prospects in the future? So there's something else that has come into focus as events have unfolded ever since the Queen passed away, and that is exactly how superficial and shallow the Sussexes' US life seems to be. Yeah, they talk about how they're gonna do all these good things, but that never seems to translate into real action. Somehow all the glitz and glamour and the running around with Oprah obscure the emptiness of their entire existence there. But now it's in very clear focus just how vapid their new careers are. In February of 2020, after their 1-year post-Meg's The Cooling Off period, the palace took Carrie's military titles away, and they stripped both of them of their royal patronages. The palace released a statement that referenced a life of public service. So a shocking 4 minutes later, a spokesperson for Meghan and Harry responded, and the statement included the line "Service is universal now," even though with that line they were taking a dig at the palace. Still, in some ways they were correct. It's true that any and all of us can do real good when we want to, but that requires commitment, perseverance, and actually doing hard work even when the cameras are not rolling. But Meghan and Harry have shown that what they're really good at is saying stuff, but never following through. It's been 21 months since they released that line about the services universal. But still, Meghan and Harry have not achieved anything meaningful or noteworthy when it comes to charities, of course, other than putting out some very self-important and self-absorbed press releases. Perhaps the monarchy is an antiquated institution. The very idea of a person through accident of birth alone getting to rule a country is kind of a ridiculous one, but the royal family today genuinely makes a positive contribution to society. They care about really important causes such as climate change, mental health problems, domestic violence, and that's just to name a few. These are some of the most pressing issues of our time, and the palace has done an excellent job of transforming the crown into a more robust and dynamic prospect. But on the other hand, Meghan and Harry's endeavors seem just like a stream of exercises and image management. It's a constant stroking of celebrity status for the two of them. For proof, look no further than Meghan's 40th birthday initiative. She talked a big talk, but nothing ever happened. And also, you can look at their scattered interventions on issues ranging from parental leave to misinformation, to name just a few. Now, sure, all of these causes are important, but the thing is, Meghan and Harry's hype never seemed to be accompanied with any kind of follow-through. Which is why I'm curious, as Harry and Meghan joined William and Catherine, Prince and Princess of Wales, on their walkabout outside of Windsor Castle, did that remind them of what it's like to be a part of something real, something bigger? Now they probably shouldn't print that on their stationery, but if ever there was something that truly belonged to William and Catherine that the suspects could borrow, it would be this. And you? Do you agree with this view? Please tell me what you think below in the comments section. If you think my video is helpful, please remember to like and share video. And don't forget to follow page now. Thank you.